Welcome back to a brand new episode of Good Times with your host JR. This is going to be episode number 2 with a brand new guest that we have here, Austin, longtime friend of mine. As you can see in the background, I definitely made some changes. I know last time I did it, it was all white. I didn't think it was good enough for a visual, so hopefully this upgrade is a little better at least from what you were used to seeing. But I hope you guys do enjoy and have a good time. All right, so our first topic we're going to be talking about today, our first guest, Jose, Celtics fan.
Boom.
He's making it. To me, that team is going to make it to the finals, so he's looking up really well. As far as our guest here, Austin, his team, I honestly don't know. I want to ask him right now. I mean, are you more of a LeBron fan, so technically Lakers, or are you actually a Suns fan? I genuinely do not know.
So I was hardcore LeBron, like all the way from high school. But over the years, I kept watching basketball, and I just found more players that I like. Like I really like Luka, like the Joker, Antetokounmpo.
It still says it like that.
Yeah, I can't say it right. Wembanyama, like he's another one I like. So I think now I'm still a LeBron fan. And then he went to Lakers. And I used to be iffy about Lakers too, but now I'm just like, dang, I like Austin Reeves. Freaking, who else was on there?
Do you like D'Angelo Russell?
Nah.
Okay, me neither.
I honestly wish they would have got like Zach LaVine maybe?
There's talks about that. Who knows? I don't know how I feel about that just yet, but on paper it sounds nice because you have a legitimate third option. It's like
that's what I think.
Think of like Kyle Kuzma from 2020, but like 3 times better.
Yo.
So I think that it'll look good, but I don't know how the depth will end up getting impacted. You're seeing with the Suns how that's working out with everyone getting injured all the time.
Yeah.
But so who would you say your fandom is with the Suns right now?
Yeah, with the Suns, but then watching the games, I'm like, man, I know I haven't got to see Booker and Bill being the same.
Yeah.
But Bill came back and he was doing all right, but just not what I expected. And I feel like they're still missing something. There's still something that they don't have quite right. Like, I don't know. They have the shooters, but I feel like they go out there and they just don't know how to play as a team yet. Like, they're really focused just with, like, Durant shooting.
It's definitely, like you said, all the 3 players haven't actually been able to play together on the court, so that's still... they're still trying to figure that out, once they actually do play together. With Beal, I think for me, what I figured out, as well as a lot of others, is in Washington, he looked like the guy, he could be a 1 to 2. I know the couple games that he played, I think it's more of he's not a 1 or 2. He was probably a 3, maybe even a 4 option, a good 4 or 3 option.
Yeah.
But he's not something that, you can really depend on. I think right now what the Suns' issue is there's 3... ball dominant players that play the best. With Devin Booker, he's your guys' facilitator right now since Chris Paul left, and he does a good job overall. Just got to make sure health overall with everybody's good. And talking about the Suns, I know DeAndre Ayton isn't on there anymore. Are you glad as a Suns fan that he's not there anymore, or how do you feel about?
I'm happy the Teletubby's gone.
Yeah,
he had the Teletubby cheeks. I didn't trust him.
Yeah, he was everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, he just wasn't as dominant as I thought he would be.
Yeah.
Like he was too soft, I think. And then looking at him play, where's he at? Detroit now?
No, he's with the Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers. Oh shit, I said Detroit. That's Monte Williams.
Yeah.
So yeah, even his first games, he's not even averaging what he was averaging with the Suns. He's like 11 points per game now.
He was doing bad the first couple games. He's picking up a little bit, but it doesn't look like anything like crazy that you're missing out on. So it's not anything like horrible to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you look at the Suns right now? Like, you think
if they learn how to play with each other and they get the right players to start going, like I like Nurkic, he's pretty cool, but I just think he gets into foul trouble too early. Yeah. And then he gets in it with the ref. He's already got a technical. Yeah. I'm like, damn, bro, calm down, chill. But I like where the team's going. I just think they need to find their flow with each other, because right now it's just if they're going to a shooting slump, they just give it to Durant, and he's doing like 6 for 16 shooting, but lucky he gets fouls, you know. So that's a good thing. But He's still going off too. He's still getting like 40 points. I think the last game he hit.
I mean, Kevin Durant's always Kevin Durant. I mean, we forget how old he is now. He's getting older, and he's still just as good as he was before. And I mean, you know, for the Suns, he's playing hero ball. You know, he has to, just with the Lakers. You know, LeBron 38, and he has to be playing the way he is, or else we'd be even worse off than we are now. You know, I mean, when we first became friends, when I moved here in Arizona, I'm originally from California. When I moved to Arizona, it was around the era of the Lakers versus Suns playoffs all the time. And, I mean, that's all people would be talking about here. You know, I was, 12, 13 years old when this was happening. And, you know, me being a Laker fan and surrounded by Suns fans, you know, you hear it all the time. And, I mean, it got me thinking, you know, from a Suns fan, like, who do you consider the number one Suns of all time? Like, who would you say? Because, I mean, there's Charles Barkley with his squad back in like the 90s, 2000s. I mean, there's the more current era, well, not current, but 10 years ago, 15 years ago, with, you know, the duo of Steve Nash and Amar'e Stoudemire. I mean, who do you think is the number one for you guys?
So, I have a big feeling that if I would have stuck to basketball, bro, I would have been the number one. No, I'm just kidding. They honestly would say my favorite is Steve Nash.
Yeah.
And then I love the combination of him and Amar'e, especially when they did that All-Star games together and he kicked the ball and he dunked it in or headbutted it or something. I was like, oh, dang, that was wild. But then I look back at Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson. I'm like, they were also legendary players, especially Charles Barkley. Small dude, or not small, but he was
for his position.
Yeah,
but he's still.
And
big,
he was still dominating it.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say my favorite is Steve Nash, but I think Charles Barkley's probably the best all-time player.
I think for me, I mean, I always hear it's always the debate between them two, but for me, I mean, I think it'd be Steve Nash, but I think it's more of a bias, the fact that he's more recent. I saw him play a lot more than Charles Barkley. I mean, that was before my time watching basketball. So
and his passing was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, you know, transcended a play style that the Suns did because of him. You know, not many teams were playing like that. I feel like
the run and gun.
Yeah, you know, that offense where it doesn't even matter how many seconds left on the clock. If you have that, you know, they find that open shot, you just make it, even if there's 10 seconds left on the clock, 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was real fast paced.
It was definitely, I feel like, ahead of its time in a way, kind of, you know, the way they were playing. You know, it kind of sucks for them. They never made it that far, but, you know, it was definitely, you know, fun to watch.
And I blame Kobe for that.
You know, I blame Steve Nash.
That's true.
For Kobe not ever getting that sixth ring. I mean, there was a lot of things overall, but, I mean, with Steve Nash, when he got traded, I was happy when he got traded.
To the
Lakers.
Thought,
because that's what we were missing back then. What was that, 2012, right?
Yeah.
We were missing that guard to play with, you know, the exact same way he was playing, but I think at that time he was already old. His back was bad,
he's getting injured,
and I don't even think he played. I mean, I don't think he played at all, really. It was bad. It was just basically him and Dwight, and then Dwight Howard was Dwight Howard. He couldn't handle Kobe. I don't know. He was a little much probably for some people, but it was his passion that people just didn't. They just weren't ready for that aggressiveness or something. I don't know what it was, but it's a shame. I think they easily could have gotten that sixth ring if
that would have been cool. Steve Nash deserved one.
Yeah, and I remember back when we were in high school and when he left and he went to the Lakers, I feel like there was a lot of people that were happy for him because they thought he was gonna win that sixth ring. It was something. For sure. Well, they thought, you know, Steve Nash was gonna win that ring that they thought, you know, he deserved. Which I mean, I think he would. You know, he did deserve it. He did a lot for the NBA, especially for the Suns in particular.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's because his eyes were so far apart. He had eyes on the side of his head. I was like,
yeah, maybe
just freaking behind the back pass.
Yeah, and then I mean, going back to that same era, you know, during that time, that was 2 years prior is when, I mean, it feels like we were trying to compete with the Miami Heat at the time, which is when LeBron decided to leave the Cavaliers and he went to team up with Bosh and Dwayne Wade. That was the start of the Big Three era. There was some of that before, you know, with Paul Pierce, Rondo, you know, with that, but Ray Allen, I almost forgot him. But they were a lot older, you know. When LeBron went to Miami, I think LeBron was 25, pretty sure D Wade was younger than that. I don't know how old Chris Bosh was, but probably around there too. And I mean, they dominated. Even when they made it to they went their first year, made it to the finals and lost. I mean, the fact that they still made it to the finals so easily, like, you knew they were going to win some rings. But I know this week there was a lot of topic of, if he never went to the Miami Heat, you know, do you think LeBron's legacy would be different? Do you think it'd be the same? You know, what are your thoughts on that if he had never went there? Would it be any different at all anywhere?
I think he wouldn't have as much rings. I think he would have still had the stats, though. Like, I think he would have still made it to the playoffs, you know. But I don't know if he could have won it. I just think he just was set up for success with Bosh and Dwayne Wade. And they had, like, Haslam and Eric Spoelstra was their coach. Like, they had, like, good players all around. But I think from that big three, more teams try to do that, and it just didn't work out for them. Like, freaking Clippers, they got with everyone,
Chris
like
Paul and DeAndre Jordan and
isn't Harden on there now? Or
now
no?
He's on there.
Yeah.
Back to this term, I mean that.
What do you think about him going to different teams?
James Harden?
Yeah.
I think he's
the problem.
I think he's ruining his legacy. I mean, not when I say legacy, I don't mean like, oh, he's gonna be like a top 20, you know, but people are probably going to forget of what he accomplished, even if it's not, you know, getting to the finals or anything like that, but just of what he did himself, his play style. They're gonna more remember of like, oh man, those last like 4 years, he went to like 3 different teams. They all ended up blowing up the team and did all this because, you know, of the way he acts. Like, I don't know why he thinks that. Maybe if it was like 3 or 4 years.
It's him and the baby.
If it was like 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, maybe. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Back with LeBron, I mean, I think if he had never actually went to the Heat, I mean, at least for me, I hated him. Like, I didn't like him. You know, just I think a lot of people didn't like him during that time because of he chose to go.
Yeah, you leave your hometown team. That's like...
when you think about it, though, like, he stuck it there for like 7 years. You know, there was all these free agents that kept coming and going. Nobody went to the Cavaliers. Like, what was he going to do there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to win. And,
he should have waited one more year. Kyrie Irving came. No, but they probably wouldn't have had that record.
Yeah, they wouldn't have got him, yeah.
Because they did terrible. Like, they were the worst team.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, and all the, like, football, basketball had the worst losing streak. I'm like, damn, that's embarrassing.
Which, I mean, kind of worked out for him, though, because, like, he won those 2 rings in Miami, got them the number 1 overall pick, and then he went back to Cleveland with Kyrie. So, I mean, that's probably 3 rings he would not have gotten. Like, that's definitely a possibility, which I didn't even think about the Kyrie one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you have anything to talk about? Any takes? Anything at all?
What do you think of them adding in a 4-point to the game?
Oh.
Like extra points, like a half-court shot counting as like a 4-pointer or something.
See, I don't know. Like, my immediate reaction, I think that would be a bad idea.
Because then everyone's just going to be going for those half-court.
But not even that. Like, well... Because I don't think people were actually going to go for it, you know? It's not going to be, like, a smart shot to shoot. Like, people are already getting upset with random players shooting from, like, 30 feet, like,
that's
way
true.
Beyond the three-point line.
I feel like that's Steph Curry's fault.
Yeah, definitely. They think they're Steph Curry, but if you think about it, maybe those moments where you're down by 4 and there's 2 seconds left on the clock and the game's about to end, you at least have it, you know, have that chance to maybe tie it and go to overtime. Like, that would be something that could actually be viable for it, but maybe it wouldn't impact as much as we think it would. Maybe I don't know. What do you think? You think it'd be a good idea?
I would like to see it because I always think it's unfair. I'm like, what? He shot from half court, full court. You didn't get some extra points. No, but I think it'd be cool because then you go from like 1 possession games or 2 possession games and just to a 1 possession game where it's like, oh shit, they made like 2 half court shots and now they're you know, down by 1 or tie.
Yeah, there would definitely be more attempts like towards the end of every quarter. That's probably when it would be used more. You know, they probably make plays to try and get open at the half court shot or something. That'd be kind of interesting to see, but it would definitely change a lot of things. Probably the older generation would hate it, but
the old generation would hate it.
Yeah, but
just like they hate the WNBA. No, what do you think of the WNBA?
It's hard to say because like everyone knows it's not entertaining. Like the NBA. Like if you're gonna watch
Yeah,
basketball,
it's all layups. It's a few dunks, but
yeah, I mean, realistically, it's mostly all layups.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they, the women. I'm not trying to disrespect them or anything, but I feel like they do give themselves more credit than they think they should be getting as far as like pay wise. Because at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. They are skillful. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll
All
definitely beat me
WNBA
in
players
a
will beat me.
1v1.
Yeah, I mean they all would. I mean they're professional at the end of the day, but as far as getting paid the same as the NBA players, it's just the marketing isn't there. Unfortunately, it's not. Advertisements are going to be going to the NBA to see. It's a much different game. So it's definitely different. Like the play style is way different. Real quick out of basketball, just a random one-on-one conversation. We've been talking a lot about golfing.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get into golfing. It's something that I've been interested in for the longest time. I feel like for me it's very intimidating because like when I think of sports, I think of like the typical like basketball, soccer,
You have to have the physique.
football. And it's way different in golf. Just thinking about it, even when I watch videos, like just random ideas of like how to how to even start because I don't even know where to even begin. Like it's much different. Like you definitely need strength, but it's obviously different.
I feel like you need a lot of hip movement.
Technique. Yeah, it's a lot of technique probably. Yeah, I mean, when are we gonna play?
I need to buy a golf set, but then I was looking. They're pretty expensive.
That's
I'm
when you
like,
go to a
"Whoa."
garage sale.
Yeah, I need a.
Because that's what I did, and I mean, I got some cheap ones for like.
Did you?
Yeah, I got some cheap ones for like. They're probably $10 for a whole set.
Oh, nice. Oh, see that.
I don't know if they're good or not, but at least I have some. Like.
Yeah, go out there. And
I'm gonna look dumb. I'm gonna look dumb like going out there, but I mean, I have something to try, Because there was a yard sale I went to, and there was this guy. He was selling like 5 or 6 sets, like complete sets. I wanted to ask him, but like I felt like I was talking to a salesman. Like
Yeah,
I mean, he was a
trying
salesman. I don't know what he's saying is true or not, So I didn't even.
Like these were made by Tiger Woods.
Like he was giving me brands and numbers and all this stuff. I was like, I don't know what this means. Like I don't know if you're lying to me. So I'm gonna just take everything with a grain of salt. Just be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just leave because I don't really know. But yeah, and I know our other friends want to play too. So hopefully we can.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking it up yesterday, the day before. Supposedly learning how to like the driving range is one of the last things to learn. Like,
Really?
It's like one of the. I think it's one of the. No, I don't want to say easier because I don't know, but there's definitely other things to pick up on. More than anything, from what I'm seeing, is to just make sure when you learn it, don't get bad habits because it's very easy to do that in golf. Like, if you
like only golf with a putter. That's what I want to do. Just putt. The world's best putter.
Be like, what's that movie with Adam Sandler?
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, yeah. That'd be funny.
I hate that Bob Barker.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to do that one day. All right, so another topic I want to talk about, I mean, kind of correlating it with golf. I know me as an outsider looking into it, it's really intimidating. I have no idea what to look at, where to even start. For those of you that aren't really following basketball, maybe know a couple of teams, a couple of players that do want to kind of get a little more information on, what to look forward to at least. I do have 2 teams on each conference that one of them will be a team that they're already well established. They can make it, advance to the playoffs, and go from there. It's a possibility that they'll make it or not, but they're there, but right now they are playing well, so it's looking promising so far for the first 9 games. The other set of 2 teams is going to be young teams that are going to be up and coming. Right now they're playing extremely well. They are in the playoff race now. Again, I know it's 9 games in, but they're at least showing glimpses of the future that they're gonna be something in the future. The first team on the West. This is more of a personal for me as far as. I don't believe that they'll make it to the playoffs. Like, they might make it to, like, the play-in, like, have to play to get that playoff spot, is the Mavs. When I look at the team, I don't see them having a very good bench, as far as anybody else to help out Kyrie and Luka. Luka is carrying the entire team. Like, he's averaging, I'm pretty sure, like, almost 40 points a game, if not a little under that. But for these 9 games, I see him being... the up and coming probably MVP winner if he keeps this up. Kyrie's being Kyrie. I mean, he's doing good. He's playing his role, doing good. But right now, I am impressed with Tim Hardaway Jr. as well as Derrick Jones Jr. They're helping, the bench pieces as well as the starters to
They're just
contribute.
young.
Yeah, they're contributing and getting them to their spot right now. I think they're probably like third or fourth right now in the West, which it's impressive. If they keep this up, they can actually make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
My team on the East that I have is the Pacers. I feel like they're a team already that people have been looking high up on. Like, they have been saying that they're already coming up. Tyrese Halliburton has been talking about nothing but positives with him. I've seen people compare him to, like, in a way, Steve Nash. Just like how he plays. Yes, for you, you're more on the casual side. You don't watch it too much.
Yeah, so I probably have to look after him.
Keep an eye out on the Pacers because, Tyrese, he's doing really good. He's giving everybody good opportunities. I'm pretty sure he led the league in assists last year, and he might be up there as well this year.
Oh, man. Be on my radar.
Yeah, and with him, he has Miles Turner, that center. He's helping, contributing along with Buddy Hield. That depth, just overall depth with them. With Bruce Brown, they also got from the Nuggets. They seem to be a very complete team right now. I believe they are on the 3rd seed right now. So,
what do you think they're missing?
Honestly, from what I'm seeing right now, they're not really missing much. They have really good depth. If Tyrese keeps playing as he's playing, that he might, because I felt like in the beginning they were missing the key superstar, but with Halliburton, the way he's playing, he's he keeps elevating. So if everybody keeps improving, I don't think they might. I'm sure everybody needs something. If they don't do anything, they're okay. Like they're improving overall just around everything.
They're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, and then their shooting guard, Benedict Mathurin, he's shooting really well too. He's their starting shooting guard, I'm pretty sure, and he's getting his open looks from Halliburton, so of course he's going to do better. But they're all just contributing really well, and I kind of do hope they make it to the playoffs, because with the previous podcast I was talking about, I feel like every year that there's, every year of the NBA season, there's been a new champion. 2020 was the Lakers, and then after that, who else won? The Celtics. Did the Celtics win? No, they didn't win.
Bucks.
The Bucks won. Who am I missing? The Nuggets obviously just won.
And they're looking good too.
Yeah, I'm missing someone else that I can't. Oh, the Warriors won as well. But yeah, these two teams, I feel like they're already up there. If they keep doing what they're doing, they're going to make it to the playoffs and make big runs, potentially. And then now to the two teams that I can see, or one team on each side of the conference, that I think are on the younger side coming up, looking really good. On the West first, I have the Rockets. This is the number one team that I have right now that I'm completely shocked. Even though it's early in the season still, like I've said.
I'm shocked you're saying the Rockets. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they've been the worst team in the NBA, or at least up, in the bottom for years. They've been tanking forever.
Yeah, since Yao Ming, something like that.
It seems after with James Harden, they made something they were going up, but then after he left, it's been going downhill from there, and it wasn't looking good.
Yeah, they fell off.
Yeah, but if you watch them now, they're doing really good. Their center, Sengun, I honestly don't even know who this guy is, but he's averaging some crazy numbers and contributing both ways, offense and defense. He's doing really well. Their second player looks like, I'm sure, Jalen Green, their shooting guard. He's also contributing really well. And these are all really young guys. They've all been drafted.
Yeah, half of them I haven't heard of them.
I want to say 3 years, 4 years maybe. They've all been drafted, so almost all from the 2020s. Jabari Smith Jr., I see him being as a potential, at some point, just with the Thunder, with James Harden, Durant, Ibaka, just all of them. They had to decide who they're going to keep, growing the franchise with. I think they're going to end up getting to this pretty soon. Hopefully they know who they're going to be deciding that's going to have the keys, I personally think Sengun is solidified, he's going to be the future. Other than that, I feel like it is questionable. But, those players right now, they have the potential to, be a trio or something, moving forward.
Yeah.
And then on the Eastern side, the Magic, everyone knows Paolo. He was a number 1 overall pick a couple years ago. He's been doing phenomenal as long as he's not injured, he's been playing really good. They've also, just with the Rockets, have been they've been having like really bad luck forever as well. Their best pick was probably, as of recent at least I should say, besides Pelo, was Aaron Gordon, which I mean he wasn't like going to be a superstar or anything. Like with Pelo,
he's a solid player though.
Yeah, I mean with Pelo, he has the potential to be a superstar. Like he's that good.
Oh damn.
Franz Wagner, their small forward, he's doing good. I think those are the duos for them, like for sure. They have questions and other players in Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, and Jalen Suggs. They're all 23 and under, so hopefully if they can just grow together.
Yeah, some young guys on the rise.
Yeah, I mean, if no one, if you're somebody that isn't familiar with, who to look at.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
up and coming.
Keep an eye on those guys.
I think those four. I mean, as far as like the really young teams, the Rockets and Magic are definitely teams to actually look at. I mean, if you want to go with the bandwagon, I would suggest those two teams now.
Yeah.
I'm sure like 3 years, 4 years, they're gonna be on the top. Once LeBron retires, Curry retires.
Wonder who's gonna be the king of the game
Irving.
then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
because right now I feel like he's the oldest, right? He's the oldest.
He is
in
the
the league.
oldest. It's crazy to think that like LeBron James is the oldest player in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a wild.
That makes me feel old.
Yeah, because we were watching him in high school.
Yeah.
And he was like young, getting drafted, and it's like.
Yeah, I remember being upset in like the 11th, 12th grade, maybe 10th grade, maybe 11th. I don't remember. Sometime in high school when he went to the Cavs, I was just like, or not the Cavs, but the Heat. I remember like it was yesterday. So, just thinking about all these teams that are now.
They had a whole little story on ESPN, him doing the decision. I'm like, damn.
Oh, that will always forever be excessive. Like, there was no reason he had to do that. Like,
yeah, only
player. Did he call up ESPN and be like, oh, yeah, I want to do this, 30-minute segment on your channel? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't think anybody else in the history of the NBA made this whole dramatic thing of, like, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. Like, what? Like, anyways, I mean... Yeah,
that's when he took on the role of the bad guy. Had those commercials.
He really did. No, yeah, he did. I mean, I hated him, and then he went to the Lakers, and I was like, "This is awkward."
Yeah, like, I don't know how to feel anymore. I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, I was until he won the championship, and I was like, "All right, I guess I don't hate him anymore." But yeah, I don't know.
What do you think happened to Zion? He was supposed to be it's just injury.
He just gets injured every year.
Yeah, because I remember he was supposed to be the one. Like, I was like, he's the next LeBron. Like,
they released
big like him.
They released the top 25 under 25. I don't have the list on me, but he's still up there. I think he's like he's top 10. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
damn. Still being considered like he's
still. Yeah, because I feel like I never hear anything about him anymore.
Because he's injured all the time. I mean, he's with the Pelicans right now, and him, Brandon Ingram. Even their shooting guard, what's his name? He was with the Trailblazers. McCollum. He's injured right now. So it's like they always that's a team that if they were always healthy, they'd be in the playoffs right now. They're really talented. But yeah, I mean Zion's just always injured. I think what it was at first is he wasn't taking care of his body very much.
He would get really chunky.
Yeah. He did cut down this year. But, I mean, I don't know if he just has ankle issues or what it is exactly, but...
Had a bunch of baby mama issues. I already had like 3 or 4.
It's bad. I've seen those videos, and...
I was like, come on, young fella.
He looks really, like, stressed out about all that.
Yo.
So, I don't know if it's that. I mean, maybe he's getting all distracted by all that, so who knows. But, yeah, I mean, I would like to see Luka, get the MVP.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really cool. He's one of my favorite players, and he's a little different in the sense of like, at least for this era, everyone's so quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really athletic.
He plays so slow, but it's still so shifty. You know what I mean? Like even his Euro step, it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's really slow, but it works every time. It would be nice to see him win.
Yep, and he's my favorite number, 77. That's his jersey number.
He? I don't even know what number he is. Is he 77?
Yeah.
That's such a random number.
Yeah, I was like, why does he have that random number? I'm like, that's my favorite number.
I've actually never paid attention to that. All right, so our last topic we want to talk about here is going to be about our favorite teams. For you, the Suns, me, the Lakers. What we think we're missing on each team. Obviously, I'll be talking about the Lakers. I mean, especially considering that our teams were, at the start of the season, potential contenders. They were both considered so, as far as at least making it to the conference finals, if not getting into the finals. And I mean, we're both having issues on our teams. So for me, I think that the biggest issue would be just consistency. It's not necessarily that we need to make a change, which I'm questioning it, that maybe we do.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as just if our depth can actually pick it up and actually fit their roles better, be more efficient, have that chemistry, I do think we can be considered the true contender that we have. Because I mean, the bench we have now, it's the best bench we've had since probably the Kobe days of when he was winning his championships in 2009 and 2010. I think right now with Gabe Vincent and D'Angelo Russell, even Austin Reeves, they're struggling a lot. One game I get D'Angelo Russell to get us a good 20, 25 points, and then next game he shoots like 2 for 11, no contribution, gets some assists, but it's not really anything that we actually desperately need,
mm-hmm.
especially for the fourth quarter. At the very least, we get Austin Reeves that is actually, contributing in the fourth quarter, because nobody else shows up besides LeBron, which it sucks because he's on his 21st season and we can't really keep relying on him. It takes one injury. Can you imagine if he gets hurt? Like, we're not making it to the playoffs if he gets hurt in the season.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing we're relying on right now. With Anthony Davis, he's just not consistent. I think he's just going to stay that way. So I'm not really like hoping anything like that happens. It'll just be a matter of hopefully just stays healthy at least get those minutes, because he's not gonna be consistent. It's just something I've already accepted. As far, if we do make a trade, I was considering maybe, because there's been rumors of Zach LaVine, because I know the Bulls are having their own issues, and for the longest time they've been talking about, just completely tanking and just rebuilding. And right now with DeRozan and Zach LaVine, they've both been in the talks with the Lakers. I don't want DeRozan. That's just another 35, 36-year-old that he's just going to retire. And I don't think he fits with us because, he's more of like an old school, like mid-range shooter. Like, we need more spacing. Zach LaVine kind of fits that a lot better. He's a lot younger. He's 28 now, I think. He's probably in his prime right now. And he definitely will be a solidified player, third option that will be a true scorer, not just rely on like D'Lo and Austin Reeves that are still, I don't know, maybe they're still looking to see who they are really still. Zach LaVine is more established. I'm just worried about if we do make those trades, we're just gonna have a horrible bench, and what was the point of that, like, unless Zach LaVine would actually like elevate us to a different level. I know another option that they've been talking about is, and I don't know how I think about this, because I view him as being underrated or overrated, like really overrated. And then here and there I see his stats and I'm like, what? How did he do that? Is Trae Young. They're thinking about maybe sending over like D'Lo and Rui, Jalen Hood-Schifino, which was our first round pick for this year, and a first rounder. And I can see them trying to do that. I just don't know how much that'll impact our defense. I don't know. I think that one is too much of a gamble. Yeah. Because I know he's had his issues already lately. And, he's a good player. I don't know. The only upside for me, if we get Trae Young, is he's young. He's 24, I think. So that would be good. But other than that, I don't think it'd be a good idea. And I think what it is considering the trades that we did a couple of years ago with Russell Westbrook, that was the
disaster.
That was the worst thing that we could have done. Okay, fine, I admit it. I got a jersey from Russell Westbrook, and I believed I was really just out of touch. Like, I was like, it'll work, but it did not work. I regret getting that jersey. But I don't know. Like, as long as you don't make just trying to look for a name, it's okay. As long as we get something that makes sense. Zach LaVine at least is the right direction. We need a scorer that can, spread the floor. He's on the younger side. That makes sense. Trae Young is a little bit more of a gamble, but I guess I understand. But yeah, those are my takes on the Lakers. What do you think?
What they need?
Yeah.
So for the Suns, what I think they need is, what I've noticed the first few games I've watched is they do really good in the very beginning of their first half, and then in the second half they just tire themselves out or lose. They just can't hit their shots anymore. So they need like consistency in their team chemistry. And I think they need team chemistry because right now I feel like when they start going on where they can't hit shots, they just give the ball to Durant or Bill. Bill's barely started playing, but and they'll just keep shooting until they make it, and they'll do terrible, but then they'll find their shots, and then they start making their points. But yeah, they need more consistency of just throughout the whole game, not just the first half, do your very best, and then you're all tired out by the second half. They have like good young players too. Grayson Allen, he was rebounding, shooting threes, and I really like him. I'm digging what I'm seeing with him. He was just coming off the bench doing real well compared to the other guys. And then another one I seen that was a Kogi. He was really about hustle points. Like he's hustling for the ball. He's going for the balls that are about to go out of bounds. He's getting steals, jumping for the rebounds over big guys, Like he's doing his thing. And I think that's what the Suns are missing. Like they need to be just more hustling on the ball. And then I like Nurkic. He's good. He just gets into foul trouble real early, and then we don't really have a backup. Forgot that other guy's name. Nurkic, he's really good. Just foul trouble and then getting technical. So I think he's a little on the immature side of like with
More
the
of a
refs.
Draymond.
Yeah, like just like dude, play the game.
Yeah,
Don't get caught up on what the refs. Get the calls.
Do you think it'll work out with what you guys did with the trades with like, Beal, Booker, and Durant?
I think it'll work, but they still need a playmaker. They need someone who's because they just have too many shooters right now.
Yeah.
It's just give the ball and they shoot, and then if they're missing, then I don't know, they screwed. They shoot themselves in the foot.
I almost feel like though if that happens, like if they do get a true point guard, like is Beal gonna run the bench? Like
yeah,
that'd be a lot of guards.
Yeah, I think
unless they play really small ball and put like whoever their point guard. I mean, it depends how big he is, but whoever's the point at the 2, put Beal at the 3, Booker 4, Durant.
Oh man, that would be real
That'd
small.
That'd be really
lineup.
Small, but I mean,
you'd
who
have
knows
shooters.
How that would work? Yeah, who knows how that would work? Yeah, I mean, I agree with I think everything's new with the Suns, especially with the trade that they have with Beal, and I mean they haven't even played together really. All 3 of them on the same court, so
yeah.
They definitely need some more chemistry. Yeah, I mean, did you have any other takes at all, or?
I think if I would have continued my basketball career, I think I would have been
that point guard.
I would have been that point guard. I would have that 12-inch vertical. Freaking just. I would be like Luka, just the slow movement, just
even
smooth, even slower. They would call me
or jump even less.
I would be the Matrix. I would be like Sean Marion, but without the weird shot, just. Slow layups.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know if they need a playmaker or just a really good center, just a really good big man.
Yeah.
Just someone who's gonna dominate the inside. But right now, I like how Nurkic is looking.
Yeah.
He just needs to just go with the
a little
flow
more of a team player.
Yeah, be more of a little team
not
player.
Not so hot-headed.
Yeah, not be so hot-headed.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much going to be all of today's episode. Did you have any other takes at all, or anything at all? No.
Who's your favorite player right now? Who's your favorite player, or who's the greatest you think?
The greatest. As much as 5 years ago, me and older me would have hated is LeBron. I mean, he's considering that he's on year 21. He's 38 years old, and he's playing the way he's playing now.
Yeah, oldest NBA player.
Like the Lakers are literally depending on him. Like, if he doesn't play like this, we're gonna lose. He's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially for his age, like you've seen Michael Jordan try to come back and then just wasn't like what he was in his prime.
Yeah.
So it's impressive that LeBron's just lasting this long.
Yeah, who knows how long he's gonna play? Because I mean, I know he's talking about wanting to play with his son.
Oh, that would be crazy. Father-son.
That'd be next. I think that'd be next year. I know stuff's going on with him, like his health. He had that scare he had. Because right now I don't think he's still playing yet.
Oh,
for
no.
USC. Yeah, they're still kind of. I don't know if they're evaluating him, kind of making him start slow, just gradually. So hopefully it's good though, because I mean that would kind of.
That'd be cool to see father-son.
Yeah. Hopefully it does happen soon. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you for coming in to watch this episode of Good Times with JR, and with our special guest, Austin. I do appreciate you coming here, and I hope you guys had a good time.